Yo, welcome back to the BST4 channel. Wingnuts, what's going on? What is happening? For the Crown Vic guys out there, look at this crusty 85 LTD here. This is what started the whole Crown Vic thing, all right? The 96 that's home, this shares the same frame. So if this shares the same frame on the 96, then that means that you can put 03 chassis right underneath it. You probably have to change a few things up here because each one of those things up here is kind of different, but you could just wiggle around that because everything else will line up, man. There's some guy who already has done it in one of these. He's from Canada. I'm sure you guys seen him in the forum, man. He probably put a Terminator motor in there or something he put in there, man. They don't make cars like this anymore. You could probably still sand this down and paint it, and the bumper is still legit. This is when cars were cars. That's plastic, of course, you know, fiberglass, but everything else, man, is just really solid on the car. And this is when a time when it was just not all plastic. You know what I mean? You have some kind of physical connection, some carbon-based connection with them. You know what I mean? Inside of here, look, you know, the dash is typical. Interior is still halfway decent. Carpet is still intact. Everything else is battered. This is when they made good roofs. Look at this thing. It's still together. You know, the cars of now, you know, when you have a roof on it, it ain't right. Now, obviously, animals have been living in the trunk of this thing. You can see all the little, that little bunch right there. That's a nest for all you guys who don't know. So, yeah, man, this is man, body-wise, it's still good. It's still doable all the way around. It's not like it's really battered, tattered, or, you know, or like a Ford Torino. If the Ford Torino was like this, body-wise, it would have been at the house already. You know what I mean? This here is still doable, even though you can find a cleaner one. But if you were really into these and you say this is a must-have, a must-get, this would have been like a no-brainer to go and do. I never really wanted to get these. I had the Lincoln Town Car version of this, where, you know, it had the odd looking front, and how the back was short and the front was long. This one was more portioned properly versus the Lincoln Town Car, but this is still a decent daggone fine, man. The glass is still good. The moldings is they just made cars better. Moldings ain't even falling off. Look at that. Moldings is still good all the way around. Everything down to this. Everything. Look at that. And it's going to stay like that for another 30 years. Now, there's a lot of Mustangs out here, man. One of these days, I may get one of these. It's just got to be priced right. But the one I like is the new Edge. All right. I don't really like this version. S9, whatever the heck it is. I like this version here. I wouldn't mind one of these. I like this one, and even this model, which is probably the same daggone thing. But I'm more so geared for this. This is the one that probably have the electric steering in this one, right? Yeah. So it was a 3-valve in here, or a Coyote maybe, I don't know. But yeah. So what am I in the junkyard for today? I'm in for a pulley. Pulley and some wiring, and just being nosy. You know, I'm just trying to you know, just try to get this car started. And ooh, yes, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, man. You know, I suffered through a lot of different things as far as like in my real life and everything like that, trying to keep the family tight and everything, and then still trying to get to your goals in life and everything like that. So, you know, just it's a lot to try to balance all of that stuff and talk to you while I'm looking for a pulley. What's really going on is that, you know, these YouTube channels have putting the pressure on me. They're getting projects done quick. They have a decent amount of money, most of them channels, right? And they're doing crazy things, even though only thing I can brag about is that pound for pound, if I had the same money, I would do a lot more cooler stuff. Even in one brand like Ford and Mercury and everything, you got Festiva, you got Escorts and all these other things, man. You got these type of things here. There's so much things you can kind of do in the Ford realm without crossing over, doing something else. And like with the old school cars, there's no limit. No matter what it is, I will get it. If it's old school, like even something like this here, you know what I mean? I would even mess with that. The trucks, I'm trying to get with them, man. It's just a little bit difficult with me messing with trucks. It's just hard at the moment. Oh, so back to what I was saying. Yeah, the channels, they put a lot of pressure on me subconsciously because they're getting a lot of things done and they're moving. And then you start to look at the numbers and then you start comparing and say, all I need is money to make it happen. You know what I mean? And then sometimes they put you in a funk, well, I'm not even going to make a video, which is a wrong thing to do. And the motorcycles, and trying to figure that out too in the process, the motorcycle deal, and it's a little bit tough to figure all of that stuff out in one whop. I think I need to get back over there. We all love cars and we do this stuff here, but right now, you know what I mean, you know, the money and all of that stuff there, and we try to think that if we had money, we can make the channel pop with one of the greatest builds on earth, right? You know, I have to stay in my lane. I'm junkyard based. This is where home is. This is where it's at. Now I had to send a line out to my man Paul because I got so much stuff going on, like 3 different things: job, home, and this car here. And I said, man, let me reach out to my man Paul, give him a line, and so he can put me in order, because I'm all mentally erratic right now. So I didn't have any spark on this motor here. It started to worry me a little bit. I'm like, okay, what wire didn't I put on, and this, that, and the third. It was a few things that I seen. First was a ground wire, then I started a remote wire. Engine didn't want to turn over, and then I started to look everywhere else, and I didn't see anything. The crank sensor is the most important thing to everything, but he put it in series for me. So then over here with the cam sensor that basically runs the injectors, so I basically have to make sure that I have my multimeter here to make sure that guy's crank signal is going to the ECU. The ECU is make sure that has power and everything like that. So I didn't really do any of that. What I did was I said, you know what, let me change this crank sensor. Now this crank sensor is brand new, out of the box, man. Don't be fooled. It has the little purple blue O-ring on it, and you notice I can see that right there in the sun. Brand new joint. So I went to my old motor from the junkyard that I knew was running, and I said, you know what, let me take that out and go over here and install it right there. And then we had spark, and I was like, okay, this is a good sign. If this is not matching the injectors, meaning that it's the same CCs or whatever like that, this thing will not run anyway. I had an issue with that car over there. A stock joint on some big injectors did not work, did not run. I had to get the one that is for those injectors. So I don't know if those things are the same. We got spark, we got gas. So I don't know if I need a lot of fuel pressure or a little bit of fuel pressure. This is the problem that I'm having. I don't know. All right, I gotta go check the timing. Now that means I gotta take the valve covers off and everything and just check. And so now I have to go backwards, which is cool. We got some spark, we got some smoke, we got some stutterness, which is good. You know what I mean? It ran, but didn't run well, but it seems to me more so like timing, because we have more than enough spark, because it sounds, you can smell that it's flooding or whatever it's doing. And we have enough gas here. So man, thank you guys for watching this episode of Build Something TV, man. I hope you guys were enlightened. On the next video, man, we're going to take the valve covers off, we're going to take the front off, we're going to check the timing, right? And then somehow I got to figure out, this needs to match the injectors. I don't even know what CC injectors we have. So hopefully it's the stock ones, and hopefully this is stock, so this is good to go. Now everything else, man, seems like it's a go. You know what I mean? I'm going to double check the spark plugs and everything like that. Take them all out. I mean, I can do a compression test first and make sure everything is legit, and then go in and take the whole front of this motor off and do the same on this engine that's right over here. So like I said, man, I'll see you guys on the next one, man. Thanks to my man Paul, thanks to everybody out there, man. I really do appreciate you guys watching the video, man. Now we got to get to this. This is too hot out here. So what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start prepping, taking things apart, right? And then when I'm ready to do it, then I can just take off the front. And I got to make sure I have something for this daggone pulley to take that off. So I need to go get those things. So we'll see you guys in the next one, man. All right, later.